Looking to watch the best action film of 2017? On June 13th, John Wick Chapter 2 finally hits home video. Check out the affiliate link in the video description for more. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and okay, we now know that Sony was not screwing around when it comes to the whole Venom movie. It's happening. It's coming. And they possibly have a star and a director. So news is breaking today that Tom Hardy, yes, Bane Tom Hardy, is going to be playing Venom in the very first Sony Marvel Cinematic Universe or Sony Marvel Universe spin-off film, just titled Venom. A hard R take on the character coming October 5th, 2018. Yeah, a year and a half from now, less than a year and a half from now, the movie is set to come out, which feels really rushed considering. Now, the other part of this that I find to be interesting as well is that Reuben Fleischer is set to direct, that Reuben Fleischer is going to come on board and handle this project. Now, if you don't know who Reuben Fleischer is, you might have seen Zombieland, which was, I think, his first feature film, which I'm not going to lie, in terms of the zombie genre, it was fresh. It was definitely interesting. But that had a lot to do also with the writing of Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, who also happened to co-write Deadpool together, and also Deadpool 2. But you look at Zombieland, and it was definitely an idea that was meant to be a TV show that was then condensed into a feature film, hence why they had like Zombie Kill of the Week and the other tips, so on and so forth. It was a good take on this project, and Fleischer did a good job. But then his follow-up film, 30 Minutes or Less, was a dark comedic take really on a true story of a guy who was a pizza delivery driver who ended up getting a bomb strapped around his neck and told to go rob a bank. However, the guy was in on it and also died as a result of it. The movie that came out in 2011 was not very good. As much as I found that story to be fascinating, the way that Fleischer directed the Jesse Eisenberg, Aziz Ansari, Danny McBride movie was just kind of no. Did not do very well. Then Fleischer followed it up the following year with Gangster Squad, a very romanticized take on that particular story. It's because they were like based on a true story, considering the fact that those guys never actually fired off a gun except for maybe one time. It was highly sensationalized, but it also came under fire with its climax, which is meant to take place in a movie theater where mobsters come through and gun everybody up. And the trailer for this was aired in front of The Dark Knight Rises, especially in Aurora, Colorado, where James Holmes went in with a gun and shot everybody up. So Warner Brothers then had to go back and come up with an ending, and the ending wasn't good, and the movie ended up tanking. And so Fleischer coming back on board for this. Now, the only way I could see this working would be if Fleischer takes it in a comedic route, right? If he goes like the comedic Deadpool route with this character of Eddie Brock and Venom, that doesn't make any sense to me. Eddie Brock is not a comedic character. Topher Grace even playing Eddie Brock in 2007 Spider-Man 3 was, even though it was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek take on it, he's not a comedic character. And unless it's surrounded by comedic characters, which never really even tends to work for a Venom story anyway, Venom is not a comedic take on a character. And so I'm a little bit worried about that because they want this to be R-rated. They want this to be, that kind of hard R sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know what to take from any of this. I look at Tom Hardy and I'm thinking, yeah, he's a good actor. I liked him in Mad Max. I liked him as Bane, even, surprisingly. I think he's a good actor and he could definitely play this part, and he has the build to be kind of like the muscle-bound jock Eddie Brock and everything else. But they're really fucking with the timeline, considering the fact that Eddie Brock and Peter Parker are supposed to go to school together, and this is taking place directly after Spider-Man Homecoming. So this is, this is the next movie in Sony's films. But I've talked about this before too, where I'm wondering if this is a play in order to push the characters back to Marvel. I talked about this yesterday in my video about Kevin Feige wanting to get all the characters back under the Marvel banner. This to me feels like it's a bold move, and I wonder if Sony knows what it's doing. Avi Arad is producing, which again gives me pause, because Avi Arad is not a good producer for these particular projects. Yes, he worked at Marvel with Stan Lee, but ever since he left to go into this whole producing thing, it hasn't been good. So I'm really wondering how that's going to play into the whole scenario. You've also got Amy Pascal's involvement, and I just don't think that's going to work out very well. And because also Marvel is not involved in any of this. Kevin Feige and company, Marvel Studios, is not involved in any of this. And so that is not going to go over well with fans, because this again is going to start having the same problem that the Marvel Netflix series has and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have, where it might be running parallel with the MCU established timeline, but it's not connecting at points where it should. And that might change with Marvel and the TV side of things, but this is Sony, and unless they start working out some better deals, I don't know. Now, Dave Bautista's come out and said that Marvel's going to get the rights back to Spider-Man, and it makes me wonder, really makes me wonder, if this movie going forward is going to be something that's going to be in production when Marvel makes a bid for Columbia. I'm just wondering. I'm wondering if Marvel's going to make a bid for Sony Pictures in Columbia. I'm just wondering that, because to me it feels like that's going to be what's going to happen. It's the only possible outcome for this not to be shit. Because I don't necessarily trust Fleischer as a director on a property like this. They want to start shooting it this fall, so in like 2 or 3 months, and then they want to have it come out October 5th. So you're looking at a rushed production of a spin-off film that hasn't even had much of an establishment yet, with an unproven director for this type of content. Yes, Reuben Fleischer has done episodes of Superstore, which is a hilarious show, and Santa Clarita Diet, which is another hilarious show, but this is not a hilarious property. This isn't Deadpool. And like I saw Grace Randolph this morning trying to make that like, oh, it could be like Deadpool. Like, it's not like Deadpool. Never mind the fact that the whole continuity of how the symbiote suit connects with, fucking Eddie Brock and everything else. You don't even have a setup for that. That is, unless Spider-Man Homecoming is going to end with a symbiote suit reference. It's the only thing I can think of. So they're already fucking the timeline here. Which is, again, leads me to ask the question, are they intentionally tanking these movies in order to make it easier for Marvel to come in and scoop it all up? Or Disney to come in and scoop it all up? I think it's a valid question. So I'll be curious to know more, because I'm sure we're going to find out more about this come Comic-Con. I'll be there. What do you guys think about this? I want to know what you think in the comments. Let me know. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? What do you guys think? My name, of course, is Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and peace out.